Hey guys, CloneGuy here, and today I'm giving you what I consider to be the 7 best piñatas in World of Tanks, or most piñatas, 7 piñatas, okay, in World of Tanks. What are piñatas? Piñatas are those tanks that you love to see on the enemy team because you just love to shoot them, because it feels like candy's coming out of them. And by that I mean experience, credits, marks of excellence, W&A, all sorts of things are just exploding out of these tanks every time you shoot them, because many of them are big, many of them are slow, they have no armor, lots of health, stuff like that. And of course the first one we have to have on the list is the TOG 2. The TOG 2 is probably the most famous and infamous of the piñatas. 1400 health is what it used to have when it was first incorporated into the game. Goes 13 kilometers an hour, has a very slow reload, 17 pounder. And so you don't have much DPM. You kind of just eventually get into the fight and whittle people down. But at the same time, they're whittling you down. And so you're just hoping that your health holds out longer than their health does. And that's the TOG 2. Also made famous, not just because of its infamous speed and infamous size and, oh my goodness, armor. It has none. There's no armor whatsoever. People are like, oh, just reverse side scraping it. Yeah, your turret's still trash. And so anytime you want to shoot anybody, you're getting penned. This tank has no armor. But the mighty jingles really made this tank famous as well. I loved to laugh at it, loved to see it roll around, because then once it got into fight, its health just went boom, 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 boom. And it could do things like on Mountain Pass, turn sideways and block the bridge off completely so that no one could get through. But to add insult to injury about this piñata tank is the fact that its driver dies all the time, reducing its effective driving capability by 50%. When you're playing this tank, you lose your driver, and suddenly you're half as mobile as you already were. Insult to injury. Man, oh man, it's kind of like you're at the opponent's 2-yard line in football and you get a penalty, and so they cut the distance in half, and now you're at the opponent's 1-yard line. it's like okay, well, sure, if that's what you want to do. You know, that's what this tank feels like when it loses its driver. Also to note, all these replays in the background are filmed in the co-op mode because I didn't have much time today. I just wanted to get some gameplay going and show these tanks in the background while I played, and made sure I had some half-decent showcases on the tanks. And I mean, you just saw this tank just get ripped apart by the bots in co-op. No good. But it is. It's hilarious, and it's both good and not good at the same time. The TOG 2, the piñata of World of Tanks. Next on the list at tier 7 is the Chi-Ri, and I wish I saw this on the enemy more often, but I don't. It's not many people play it. And the reason this tank is such a piñata is because it's so tall, and it's big, and it has a lot of health for a tier 7 medium tank. Most tier 7 medium tanks at this tier have 1100 to 1150 health. You have 1250. You have more health than most tier 7 medium tanks. Only the Germans seem to have more, and some American premiums. Otherwise, you're super healthy, but you have no armor. You're super slow. Your gun is weak and pathetic. You don't have penetration on it. Yes, you can do 390 alpha damage if all your shells penetrate. It used to be 330, but they buffed it from 110 alpha to 130 alpha. But again, you just have no pen, and if you load your premium rounds, it's like 180 pen. It's not a good gun. And so I love to see it, because not only is it huge and easy to shoot and slow, its side armor and rear have no armor whatsoever. You can pen it with HE. It's just an auto pen tank. Auto lock it, fire your shells. You can pen the front with some HE shells as well. And again, it doesn't go anywhere quickly. At 1250 health for a medium tank means you have a lot of damage to farm off of this tank. Feeding your marks of excellence, feeding your experience, feeding your feeding your credits. Where are you getting camouflage from shooting a Chi-Ri? I don't know, but I said it. But the Chi-Ri, Type 5 Chi-Ri is the full name, is definitely one that I wanted to have on the list at tier 7. It's just an easy farm tank, easy to farm. Love to see him on the enemy team, love to shoot him, especially when I'm in my own medium. Like if I'm in a Comet, which doesn't have much penetration but has absurd DPM and gun handling and really good gun depression and much better mobility and lower profile. Holy moly. I love going up against the Chi-Ri, because the Chi-Ri is one of those tanks the Comet can actually penetrate with its standard rounds, and it does so easily. Oh, it's full of candy, to say the least, for sure. It's full of candy. Now we're getting to personally my favorite Piñata tank in the entire game to see on the enemy team. It's the Tiger, the German tier 7, one of the most famous tanks in the world. The Tiger one, and it's such a beautiful machine to see on the enemy because it has 1500 health at tier 7, which is incredible for any tank in the game, really, at this tier. Like, 1500 health is so much. On top of that, it's 100 millimeters of flat front armor and 80 on the side. It's a box. It's made for beating with a stick, and it's got transmission in the front, it's got a big fuel tank in the back, it's got its ammo rack you can hit in the front, and if it's sideways, you're hitting it in the ammo rack, as you saw from us shooting the enemy Tiger in the side, immediately ammo rack. This thing you blow the head off of all the time, and if you don't blow the head off, you just get to keep shooting it and shooting it and shooting it and shooting it and shooting it, and getting more and more and more damage and experience and W8 and marks of excellence and credits. And it's another one of those tanks that I love to fight against in my Comet. Basically, at tier 7, if my Comet can deal with you easily, you are a Piñata. And I because the Comet doesn't have much penetration, it's only 148 on its standard rounds at tier 7. It's abysmally bad. And so if the Comet loves to go up against your tank, then your tank is probably not that good. Or at least not well armored. And seeing as I gold marked my Comet, this was a tank I love to fight because of all the damage you could get off of it. And Tigers are everywhere at this tier. You don't have to worry about, not fighting one when you pull out your Comets or you pull out your tier 7s like you do the Chi-Ri. You might not fight a Chi-Ri, but you're probably going to see 1, 2, sometimes 3, even 4 Tigers on the enemy team, because this tank is one of the most played tanks in the game. Everybody wants to get their Tiger, and because everybody wants to get their Tiger, you have a lot of players who only play this game to get the Tiger, so they're not even that good at the game. And so Tigers are just beautiful Piñatas to get to shoot on the enemy team, and I love to shoot them. I mean, it's a great tank, don't get me wrong. I think the Tiger is phenomenal. Great DPM, great health, fantastic mobility for its size. And then the hit points keep you alive. It's really nice. But you get your engine knocked out, your transmission knocked out, your fuel tanks knocked out, your ammo rack knocked out, you have a lot of health, and you have no armor. Boom, the Tiger, nutshell, bada bing, bada boom. I love this tank, and I especially love to see it on the enemy team and smash all the candy out of it. We're sliding into tier 8 now, and what tank could it be? Why, it's the AMX CDC. Many reasons why this tank is a Piñata, and it basically fits every criteria. It's slow. It's not, but it is. It gets up to speed rather quickly. It goes 56, but that's as fast as it goes. 56 does not look that fast when your tank is this big. It's huge, and 20 millimeters of armor, you can get penned by HE, and every gun that you're going to face, other than the new Czechoslovakian light tank, there it is, with the little machine gun, is going to overmatch your tank from every single angle, except your gun mantlet. There's a chance they hit you in the gun mantlet, and they bounce off of you. A chance. In fact, that happens in this game, but it bounces off and goes into my tank. There is no redeeming quality about this tank in the way of getting shot. None. Nothing. You are huge. You are bigger than all the other medium tanks for its tier and most of the heavy tanks. I think the Panther 2 might be the only medium tank that's bigger, but at least the Panther 2 has some armor going for it. This tank, again, does not. On top of that, it only goes 56. I don't know. That's it. That's it. That's all you need. And it gets set on fire all the time. And the ammo rack is set up in a circle around the turret ring, and the ammo is mounted vertically, not horizontally, vertically. So if you shoot this tank center mass, you are hitting the ammo rack, every single time. And when the ammo rack is hit, there's a 25% chance it gets damaged. So basically, every time you shoot this tank, other than in the very back of it, you have a 1 in 4 chance of damaging the ammo rack. And if you have a high enough caliber, or the ammo rack is already hit, it ignites. Kaboom! Gone! CDC, again, a piñata, and it's the first one on the list that you can consistently simply load up your HE shells and laugh. 20 millimeters of flat armor all around the tank. I think the frontal plate might be 30, but even so, 30 millimeters? Ah, come on, it's pretty flat too. If you've got a 90 millimeter gun, the low end penetration for HE is 45 millimeters. Meaning, guess what? You can go through this with even your 90 millimeter guns with your HE. It's not a problem. There's the bounce I was just talking about that goes in from the turret into somewhere else. They think the tracks or something, and the driver's dead. Just like the TOG, the driver's dead. You have no armor. HE from artillery misses you and still obliterates your tank, or it does hit you, full pens you, and it's a sad day for you. And finally, 1400 health on a medium tank at tier 8 is also very, very healthy. Again, only adding to just how much experience you can get from shooting at the CDC. Tier 9 is next, and it's got Tiger in the game, Tiger in the name. And we're talking the tier 9 Jagdtiger, and the Lorraine could have easily made this list as well, but I didn't put it on here because I could only pick 7 tanks. And the reason I took the Jagdtiger is, well, for that shot right there. The Jagdtiger has the same armor that the Tiger 2 had. Tiger 2 got buffed to 160 upper plate. Jagdtiger never got that. Jagdtiger 88 at tier 8 got a lower plate buff. Jagdtiger never got that. The Jagdtiger's armor model is still the same as it's always been in this game, and that's weak for its tier. Tier 8s can go through your upper plate. Some of them anyway, especially tanks like the Lova, the Tiger 2 tanks with about 225 start to go through your upper plate if they aim well enough. And then once you have 230, 235, it's all over, which would be basically every tier 9 in the game, and you are a tier 9. Your superstructure, 250 millimeters, it's flat though. Your standard round from your own gun can go through it, and tier 10 standard rounds go through it as well, and most everybody's shooting premium these days anyway. And so your armor is meaningless. And I don't know if you guys have ever shot at a Jagdtiger with the Death Star or the 4005 back when that tank had 1750 alpha damage. But every time I shot at a Jagdtiger, I would one-shot it. For some reason, this tank loves to just explode. It loves to be high-rolled on, especially against 183s. And I don't know why that is, but that was just my experience in the Jagdtiger, and it was one that I would love to see on the enemy because, again, it's just easy damage to farm. And because it doesn't have a turret, it just makes it even easier. And it's got an ammo rack right in the side when you get around it. Easy peasy to blow its top. It doesn't have a top though, but you know, you can detonate its ammo rack really easy. And just like the Tiger and the Tiger 2, it's got the transmission in the front, right in the lower plate. And so if you do decide to shoot it in a weak spot, which you don't have to do, like we just did there to their Jagdtiger, you blasted away its engine. Which we just did. Sucks to suck, buddy. I know, now your engine is half. And while we're at it, we finish him off. The Jagdtiger, just an easy farm tank. So many modules, so much flat armor, so much non-existent armor. And on PC, this tank has a weaker engine and 2100 health, meaning it's an even bigger, yummier, juicier piñata on PC than it is here on console, which still has the 1800 health. Man, if this tank had 300 more health, it would be so much more fun to shoot. We have one more tier 9 in this list, and it's the Tiger Mouse. Another Tiger named tank in the game. The Tiger Mouse is a letdown. A lot of people tried to defend it in my review video, but most people were like, yes, I love to see this tank on the enemy team, and I don't love to play it myself. It's so bad. Your side armor is non-existent because it's so flat. You think you can side scrape with this tank, but you can't. It's 100 millimeters of side armor that just gets penned out of nowhere. Your lower plate is huge, and guess what? Your engine's there, just like every other German tank in the game. Your engine is right there. Oh my goodness. The only thing that maybe would remove this from the Piñata category is the fact that it only has 1950 health, which is high for a tier 9 heavy tank, but it's not the highest. The Moishen has more health at 2150, 200 more health, and the Moishen has more armor too, and is more narrow, and better at side scraping, and just a better tank. And then you have the Type 4 Heavy, which has 2050 health. That one I almost included on this list, but you'll see why I didn't. Not in this replay, but in the next one. I decided not to include the Type 4, which I easily could have, because the Type 4 has a ton of weak spots on the tank that the Type 5 at tier 10 does not have. For instance, your driver's hatches on the Type 4 are really weak, your shoulder plate is really weak, and your hull armor is just 10 millimeters weaker everywhere. And so standard rounds can go through you if aimed properly, unlike the Type 5, and premium rounds will pen you no matter what. That's the Type 4 Heavy, and so I was very close to adding that one to this list, but when that tank is in a top tier match, it's pretty devastating and deadly, so I did not include it. But the Tiger Mouse obviously does. Its ammo rack is easy to hit, its fuel tank is easy to hit, its engine is easy to hit, it's easy to get around, it's easy to pen the lower plate, even from your tier 7s. With standard rounds, it is so juicy. I love to see them. This is currently my favorite tank to see on the enemy team, because it has bad DPM, bad mobility, and no armor. It's like, yes, I get to shoot a Tiger Mouse. Oh, I love Tiger Mouses right now. They're my favorite, my all-time favorite tank to shoot right now. And for that reason, I had to put it in this list. Finally, we have a tier 10 in the list, and there were some I considered. I considered the 4005, but I decided it doesn't have enough health to include. I considered the Waffly 100, which does have enough health, but then that thing gains some armor in the turret, so you can't just HE it all day anymore. And so I settled on the Type 5 Heavy with 2800 health and flat armor. The armor is good against standard rounds, but everybody's shooting you with premium rounds anyway, that your armor just doesn't work. And when I'm fighting up against a Type 5 Heavy, guess what? I'm loading my gold, and now it is a flat box full of ammo racks everywhere, all along the fighting compartment, all along the side. You can shoot it in the ammo rack from the front, just like the Tiger one you can. And it's so slow, and it has no DPM. Some people prefer to use the smaller gun, and while the smaller gun can be decent, I prefer the consistency of this derp gun personally. Like, since you're gonna pen me, I want to win the trade against you. And so I pull into cover, I wait to reload, I pull out, and I derp you. Then I rinse and repeat, use my hit points. That's how I play this tank. But when you come across one, and it's fired its gun, even when it hasn't fired its gun, you just get to shoot it over and over and over again. You get to shoot it 3 times, then he finally reloads and you pull behind cover, or you let him shoot you once, and then you shoot him 3 more times, and you farm 2800 health out of him. It's so easy. And again, the Type 4 could have made this list, and I almost put the Type 4 in this list, except that I wanted to have the Type 5 in here, and I had to have the Tiger Mouse. And for that reason, I didn't have the Type 4. But if I were to do a part 2, I guarantee the Type 4 would be in it, the Lorraine 40-ton would be in it, and probably some other tanks around the tiers I would consider, because, I mean, we'd need 7, right? But the Type 5 makes the list here. Don't get me wrong. In fact, a lot of these tanks are good. The Jagdtiger is an incredible tank. The Tiger Mouse is not. The Tiger 1 is an incredible tank. The Tog 2 is hilariously fun to play. Like, there are some good tanks in this list. The CDC is a beautiful gun, and I love to roll around in. But we're not talking about how good the tank is, but how much fun they are to shoot. And the Type 5 is one of the most fun to shoot. But it is an incredible vehicle because of its health, and because if you're shooting it with standard, it survives a long time, and because it has an auto damage HE gun, and because it has 334 heat pen with 750 alpha damage if you load heat. Like, this tank can kick some butt. Absolutely. However, it is so much fun to shoot, and that is why I have it on this list. And again, these are my 7 favorite tanks to shoot at. And that's why they're on this list. It is my opinion. My opinions. But guys, let me know what tanks you love to shoot at on the enemy team. You love to see. When you see them, you're like, yes! Oh my goodness, my favorite, like I said right now, is the Tiger Mouse. When I see one of those on the enemy team, I know it's going to be a good time. But that is it. I hope you guys all enjoyed. If you did, slap that like button, comment, and subscribe. And I'll be seeing you guys all later. Take care, everyone. And you know what? We'll shoot the gun one more time. There we go. Peace out.